Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me again. I want you to know that a decision has been made concerning the pianos that you and I shopped for together, and we will get to the pianos in just a moment. First, I need to decide what exactly to have for dinner. And the choices are marinated chicken, turkey meatballs, or pasta. I'm thinking marinated chicken, and we can enjoy the chicken with some rice and some broccoli florets. And for the marinated chicken, I'm going to use some Asian type marinade ingredients. And we can mix the marinade right in a Ziploc bag. So I need some rice vinegar, brand new bottle, which I have to open. In you go. Maybe a little more than that. I need some lemon juice. Some ground ginger, only because I do not have fresh ginger on hand. Tamari sauce, or you could use soy sauce. And for a little kick, we're going to add some of this Thai-style chili sauce. This chili sauce smells just fantastic. Last ingredient, toasted sesame oil, which I think is one of the best ingredients ever invented. Mix this up right in the bag. I'm not adding any salt to this because the tamari sauce is already plenty salty. Then I have slightly more than 1 pound of chicken cutlets. In you go. There's 1, 2. Make sure they are nicely coated, and they are. And I can put the marinated chicken in its bag right in the baking dish that I will use later. I will pop this into the refrigerator. Now, my favorite way to enjoy rice is to cook it in vegetable stock, and we can make that next. I'm going to make the vegetable stock in my Instant Pot over here, just to save time. You can use just about any vegetable ingredients or scraps that you have on hand to make vegetable stock. And by the way, the difference between stock and broth, from what I understand, is that broth is seasoned. You could drink it just as it is, whereas stock is something that is not seasoned, and you would use it in other cooking applications. So I have some yellow onions, and I'm going to keep the skins on. I did wash these onions first. And then I have some organic carrots here that I scrubbed. I'm just going to roughly chop them. Celery. And I have some fresh parsley and some fresh thyme. I bought this thyme from the berry farm earlier today, or just plucked. And then I have some vegetable scraps that you and I froze together from various cooking projects. And we're going to add these as well. I have some carrot peels from organic carrots. I have, looks like parsnip peels and parsnip pieces, and a lot of parsley stems. All these will be great for the stock. I can remove my Instant Pot liner because I want to see where the maximum fill line is. We can add these veggies directly to the liner. So I have carrot tops and carrot bottoms as well. All these are great for stock. In you go. Along with my scraps. Now I need fresh water to come up to the fill line. Okay, and this goes into the Instant Pot. Lid on. Pressure cook for 45 minutes. Let me clean up my work surface, and then we can head into the music room. If you were with me when we shopped at Flynn Pianos in Great Barrington, you may remember that my goal was to trade in my 1929 Steinway Model M for a larger Steinway. At Flynn Pianos, I fell in love with an ornate, fully restored 1893 Steinway Model A. The piano measures 6 feet 2 inches in length and has a rather mellow tone. I developed an almost weird spiritual connection to this piano. Then Terry Flynn, the store's owner, told me about a 1959 Steinway Model B that was located in Terry's workshop. The B was for sale at a bargain price because it was not fully restored. The B is a semi-concert grand. It measures nearly 7 feet in length. I could not make up my mind as to whether I wanted the 1959 B or the 1893 A. So Terry generously offered to deliver both pianos to my home so that I could try them out for 1 week. At the same time, Terry would take possession of my Steinway M. I should mention that I also have a Yamaha Grand that measures 5 feet 8 inches. The Yamaha is in near mint condition. I wanted to keep all 3 pianos, but this would not be possible for me. Last week, New England Piano Moving picked up one of the pianos and brought it to Terry Flynn's showroom in Great Barrington. And now, let me show you the piano I decided to keep. And the piano I selected is this 1959 Steinway B. And it measures 6 feet 11 inches. And I decided to keep the Yamaha, at least for now. Now this piano is not without a few issues, but the store is going to come and fix some of the notes on the piano. This piano has a very rich bass. And a singing treble. And while we wait on that vegetable stock, I'm actually going to practice. We only have 12 minutes left on this vegetable stock. And thank you for listening to me practice. You have no idea how brave one has to be to allow other people to watch them practice. And I have a lot more practicing to do. But I wanted to come into the kitchen to prepare one of my side dishes for this dinner, which is roasted broccoli florets. Super easy to do. I don't put broccoli in my vegetable stock because it has too strong of a flavor. I feel the same way about bell peppers, and I love bell peppers, but they have strong flavors, and I want a mild vegetable stock. I don't want the stock to say broccoli or bell pepper. Olive oil, salt, pepper, and toss. I like to keep the broccoli in a single layer so that it caramelizes beautifully in the oven. And we can pop this into the refrigerator until it's closer to dinner time. And our 45 minutes is up, so we can release all of the pent-up pressure from this Instant Pot. Oh, even the steam smells wonderful. I can smell the carrots. Almost all of the pressure is released now, but I wanted to mention that if you don't have an Instant Pot, you can always make vegetable stock or any other kind of stock right on the stove top. So for vegetable stock, you would use whatever vegetables or scraps you like or happen to have on hand, and then cover them with water and let them simmer on the stove top for a good 5 or even 6 hours. So you want the vegetables to release all of their flavor into the water. And here we go. Oh, beautiful. So I need to strain this stock, and I put my medium-sized strainer on this bowl here. I'm going to use my larger strainer. I'm going to very deftly remove this liner. I am getting a nice vegetable stock facial here. Doesn't seem too smart to try to pour this directly into the strainer. I need a ladle. Even better, another glass measure. So I will not keep any of these vegetables because they have given all of their flavor to the stock. In other words, the vegetables would be tasteless at this point, although I may give the carrots to my dog Avery. Look at this beautiful golden color. That's from the onion skins. So already we have 1 quart of stock. Need my funnel. This is actually a 2-quart measure. I think it's better to ladle this stock into the jar rather than attempt to pour it and have a good portion of it spill. I need more jars. Actually, I don't know if my dog Avery will eat these carrots. She's very picky about food. Lizette said that her dog eats apples and what else does your dog eat that I thought was unusual?
Green beans.
Green beans.
Peppers.
Peppers, wow.
Cucumbers.
Cucumber. Avery would not touch a cucumber. She likes chicken. I'm filling these jars to about 1 inch from the top because I plan to freeze at least some of the jars after the stock has cooled to room temperature. And I have leak-proof screw-on lids over here, intended for mason jars. You always have to leave some headspace on jars. Otherwise, when you go to freeze the contents will expand and crack the jars. But I have never had a jar crack on me in the freezer because I always leave headroom. So I am going to let this stock cool to room temperature, then I will put the lids on. And in the meantime, I'm going to go back and practice, but I will not ask you to watch that. And we will come back shortly before dinner time. I just had a great practice session, about 2.5 hours. It feels really good to get acquainted with that Steinway bee. I was putting the lids on my jars, except for this one jar, some of which I'm going to use to flavor the rice that we will have for dinner. And my oven is preheated to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Here's the marinated chicken that we can pour right into this baking dish. I'm going to top this chicken with sesame seeds after it has cooked. And both the chicken and the broccoli can go into the oven for 25 minutes. And for the rice, I'm using minute rice instead of my usual jasmine. I like minute rice, and it cooks perfectly every time. And you simply use equal parts liquid and rice. And we can add some salt because this vegetable stock was not previously seasoned. I need to bring this to a boil on the stovetop. We have come to a boil here, so now I can add my rice. Put the lid on, and in 5 minutes, I will have perfect rice. While we wait on the rice and the chicken and the broccoli, I am going to light a fire in the parlor. It is suddenly very cold outside. It's also cold in this house. I'm going to start by putting some of this wonderful rice on my plate. This will make a nice bed for the chicken. Then I want some of the sauce from the chicken. Sesame seeds. Broccoli, some crisp white wine, and then we can head into the parlor. I can't wait to tuck into this dinner. Chicken is very moist, very tender. And very delicious. And the rice, the homemade vegetable stock really transformed this rice into something special. Broccoli, the broccoli became sweetly caramelized as it roasted in the oven. I think roasted broccoli is probably my favorite vegetable of all. Friends, thank you so much for being a part of my piano buying journey. I know that many of you were rooting for the 1893 Steinway A, but it was not to be. Not at this time anyway. And who knows, maybe another Steinway A will come along. And I hope you feel inspired to make your own vegetable stock, which you can use in any recipe that requires vegetable stock. And please try this dinner, either for yourself or for someone you love. It really is delicious. In the next video, we will take a walk in the spring garden. I can't wait to hang out with you again. And until then, please treat yourself very, very well. And I will see you very soon. Bye for now, friends.